Hi, welcome back to the Introduction to Live Band Manager video series. If you've just completed the first video on how to create a band in Live Band Manager, you'll now see a screen similar to this one where we've created My Great Band earlier. I'm now going to step you through some of the other features of Live Band Manager and how to use them. So when we created My Great Band, we mentioned that there were 3 members in our band. And so now if we move over to the contacts page, this is where you'll manage all of your contacts. This runs across bands that you're managing, so if you're managing multiple bands, all of the contacts will be seen together here. So at the moment we can see that we've just got the 3 Smith brothers who play in My Great Band. So at this point it's worth taking you through some of the standard actions that occur on all of the different modules. And these are the magic red buttons that appear over here in the action column. So the first button is the T, and that's the task button. Live Band Manager provides a task subsystem where you can set up a task like a to-do list item that has a due date to remind you that you need to follow up on phone calls or meetings or whatever with various people. These to-do list items have a subject. They are about someone or something that you're doing the to-do list item on. And so if you wanted to create a reminder to do with Brian Smith, you would press the little T next to Brian's name here, and that would create a task with Brian as the subject. Tasks will be the subject of a separate video, so we won't get into that just now, but just be aware that T creates a task or a to-do list item about this person. The X button will delete this contact. That will be the end of Brian Smith. You can use that when you sack him from the band. The eyeball is used to have a look at that record in further detail, and then the pencil is to edit that record. So if we just have a look at Brian's record here, we'll see at the moment we don't actually know very much about Brian at all. We just have a name and an organisation that he works for, which in this case is the band that we're managing. So once again on all of these screens you will see an edit button and a delete button. So that's the sack Brian from the band button, and this is the let's get some more information in about Brian. So Brian Smith's in here. We can now enter his mobile number, which in keeping with American TV tradition we're going to put in as 555 555 555. We're also going to add Brian's email address, which is brian.smith@mygreatband.com. As part of the integration with MailChimp that Live Band Manager does, we can subscribe Brian for a newsletter here, and that will enable that linkage to from Live Band Manager to MailChimp if you're using MailChimp to run your campaigns, your email campaigns. Here we can put in Brian's Twitter details, and the Twitter integration is subject to a different video also. Likewise, we can capture the mailing address for Brian, wherever he might live, should we need to do that. And all records within Live Band Manager contain a notes field where you can just keep any random notes about that contact. So obviously Brian you would know well because he's in the band that you're managing, or perhaps he's even you. But if this is someone who's not in your band, you might like to take some notes to say that you met at Big Sound 2016 and had a beer and a chat about playing at a great festival later in the year. So whatever notes you wish to keep about your interaction with Brian. So pressing save locks that record away, and Brian's details have now been updated. That concludes the instructional video on the contacts module.